Greetings everyone, my name is Jonathan Bailey and I'm from the website Plagiarism Today, which can be found at plagiarismtoday.com. Happy Friday everyone. Actually, it's my last work day before I head to the United Kingdom for a week for the fifth International Plagiarism Conference in Newcastle. So the next videos I'll be doing from a hotel room in undisclosed location in Newcastle. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. But in the meantime, it is Friday, and that means time to talk tech, as we usually do here, which is a pity. There's actually a lot of really cool copyright news, but I'm sure we'll come back to that later. But no, today, I'm a PC gamer at heart, and, you know, that's what I'm most excited about. For those who don't know, or maybe aren't PC gamers, the Steam summer sales began yesterday, Thursday, and they began in a very, very, very big way. You know, Steam is probably the best way to buy PC games right now, just in general, because of the convenience, the cost, everything seems to favor Steam. And the Steam summer sales and the Steam holiday sales are my two favorite times of the year to be a PC gamer, and this time around is no exception. The only drawback to these sales are if you have a weak wallet, you're being punched very hard in it. And considering all the expenses we have coming up, including the trip, yeah, we have a kind of a weakish wallet right now. But still, partaking in the game and the festivities, did purchase 2 copies of Saints Row 3rd and 2 copies of Trine 2 already. We'll be making other purchases, I'm sure, as I go along. One thing that's very interesting, though, about this year's Steam sales, actually 2 things. One is that they have these flash deals, which are basically these little 5-hour deep discounts that pop up from time to time. And they also have community choice sales, which pop up every 8 hours. And these, they'll put up a poll with 3 different deals. You choose which one you want, and whoever the community votes for, that's what will go on sale for the next 8 hours. There's a constant 8-hour cycle that you have to keep up with there. And along with this, they've also added badges, which are interesting because you can, if you participate, for example, in this deal every day, in voting in every day, you can receive a Steam badge for being a survivor of summer 2012 sales. But all in all, exciting time to be a PC gamer. Check it out. I'm not going to offer too much commentary on what the games are because, unfortunately, the deals, as I just mentioned, are going by so fast. Merely the time it takes to encode these videos and so forth could mean a new set of deals is up. That being said, though, I do want to point you guys to a deal that's not on Steam. In fact, it's kind of an old deal. It's actually been around for almost a year now. And that's the deal at GOG.com for the game Dungeon Keeper 2. Dungeon Keeper 2 is, in my opinion, one of the best PC games I've ever played. Hands down. It's available for $6 at GOG.com. It's DRM free, trivial to download, trivial to install, and it is a wonderfully fun PC game. Now, people who know me and have been around me for a while know that back in August of 2011, I actually did a video talking about Dungeon Keeper 2 and telling everyone they should go buy it right then. So why am I coming back to it almost a full year later? Well, the reason is, if you go back to that first video and look at the comments and the discussion down there, long story short, there were some major problems with the GOG version of that game. See, the problem is that Dungeon Keeper 2 was a game that was released in 1999, and a lot of the technology it was based on actually came from Dungeon Keeper 1, which was released in 1997. And the result of that was that, what you get for doing it live, but the result of it was if you had a system that was newer than Windows, I think like ME, it ran fine 95, 98 ME, but if you had XP and beyond, you were pretty much screwed. And that meant that, you know, even people like me who played Dungeon Keeper 2 when it first came out in 1999, we didn't get a lot of time because Windows XP came out shortly after Dungeon Keeper 2 was released. And a lot of people, myself included, upgraded pretty quickly. But it did not work properly. However, as I said, GOG has released a patch. It's a 1 megabyte patch, and it fixes all of those issues. It runs flawlessly on Windows 7. Go to the comments on this page. It runs beautifully. It's a great game. And now it's restored to its former glory, and I am totally nostalgia-ing, if that's a word, for the pre-2000 age and really enjoying the game. Now, for those who don't know what Dungeon Keeper 2 is, I'll try to quickly recap it, though it's a bit complicated. In this game, you play the role of an evil dungeon keeper. You have a dungeon heart, which is the center of your dungeon. Using your imps, you will dig out the rest of your little dungeon and claim it and then build rooms, and then those rooms will in turn attract creatures from the netherworld that will come to your aid. And you'll sort of amass an army, train it, and then send it to fight your enemies, which could be, usually it's the goodly heroes of the land, but sometimes it's other keepers, and you can also do multiplayer against other keepers as well. Now, to be clear though, this isn't a command and conquer style real-time strategy game. It's something of a weird hybrid game where you, like for example, the most you can, like the command and conquer, you click enemy or StarCraft or other games like it, you can click it, your guys, you say go attack that thing, they go and they attack it, and that's the end of the discussion. They do exactly what you say when you say it. Here, you're more like an evil HR manager with some supernatural powers. The most you can do for the majority of the game is pick up the little bastards and drop them where you want them, and pray that they do exactly what you want, that they'll fight the bad guy, that they'll tear down the door, that they'll train in the training room, build you that trap, or whatever it is you need done. You just got to pray they actually listen. There's some ways you can force them to do what you want, but they usually require extra efforts. For example, you can lock them in rooms. You can also use the possession spell to take them over. But yeah, so what you get is kind of a weird hybrid of a simulation game, of a dungeon creation simulation game, a real-time strategy game, and oddly a first-person shooter, even though the first-person element's probably one of the weakest parts of this game, because you can possess your creatures and lead the charge yourself if you want. If I were going to pick a few gripes about this game real fast, just because it's what I do, I try to do as balanced as I can, don't laud a game universally. I think the biggest gripes I have are, one, that the AI tends to be a bit bonehead stupid, and I'm not so much talking about your guys, but your opponents. The campaign mode makes up for this by putting you against impossible odds, really impossible odds at times. So the campaign mode provides a very good challenge. Don't expect to breeze through it because the AI is a bit daft. You will die from time to time, and that's okay. That's life. Enjoy that part. But like I said, if you go into skirmish mode, or we're simulating battles against human opponents using the computer, you're gonna stomp them. I mean, 1999 era AI was not well known for being the best and brightest, and this game certainly isn't either. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's good enough to provide some challenge, but I mean, back in 1999 when we were playing it originally, Crystal and I would take on two of the computer keepers in a simulated death match in a skirmish mode, and we would basically stomp the crap out of them. I mean, it got so bad one of us could literally take on 3 at a time without much difficulty, even on the highest difficulty setting. I don't know if we're quite there yet now that we're having to get back into it. Crystal just completed the campaign. She saved her campaign from when we first bought the game. I had to start over. I'm about 85% done. Well worth it, though. All in all, it is a great game. Like I said, some minor problems with it. The first-person mode doesn't work 100% well. And the graphics in certain places didn't hold up very well. It is 13 years old. Some of the pre-rendered sequences and so forth look a little blocky, but the humor of the game, which I failed to mention earlier, a very funny game. The humor of it still stands. The gameplay style is still a blast. And this is a game that can't be easily replicated on consoles. This is something that's going to be very unique to PCs. Can't be replicated very easily or very well on consoles. So check it out. It's $6 on GOG.com. Don't torrent this one. Don't pirate it. Pay the money for it. It's only a few bucks, and you should reward GOG for providing a patch for a 13-year-old game. It's the least you can do. Well, on that note, everyone, thank you very much. I will see you guys on Monday at a slightly different time due to time zone changes. But until then, this is Jonathan Bailey signing off.